go back to 9.
So Steph Kyriakou is short of the green. Not a great third there, Morgan.
It's just such a tough hole. I mean, less than a quarter of the field has hit the screen in regulation. Everybody, what a fight there for that par. Playing at 4.38.
We have at the top of this leaderboard.
Well, speaking of stars, Tom, here's one of them. Lydia Ko's moved her way up into a tie for 6th after rounds of 69 and 70 so far this week. She's 3 under on her day through 13 as we watch her tee off at 14.
Surprisingly, this has been a tough hole today. The wind really wreaking havoc there, the most exposed.
Let's go back to the 14th, and we showed you Lydia Ko's tee shot into this par 3. So this is what she has left for birdie.
There haven't been a ton of birdies here today. Only 5 so far today. This putt's kind of an odd one to read, as this whole location sitting in a bit of a bowl. You can see the grain change there from the dark to the light. That's the bottom of the valley where this hole is sit right in today.
Can't capitalize. She's played this hole and won it over par this week. Will remain that way after tapping that one in. Missed the cut here at the Mizuho Americas Open last year and finished in a tie for 33rd in the inaugural year of 2023. Well, the tee has been brought forward at the 16th hole for the first time.
Go for it. Hole locations on the front. You're going to see just about everybody going for this green today. Definitely the wind making it a little bit more of a challenge, but aim about at the left edge of the green. If it falls a touch to the right, enjoy where it ends up, and if not, it's not too bad of a chip from over there.
Well, at 227 yards, it is the shortest par 4 on the LPGA Tour this season. What's Paddy doing? That looks a little left as well.
Now the challenge is that pitch is going to be downhill, running towards the water.
Okay, let's go to 13.
Yeah, the second shot here for Yealimi Noh. This is the par 5. Flag today back left, playing down the breeze, but just not easy to stop the ball if players go for the flag. A lot of room out to the right.
Yeah, I get swing.
Just playing safe. As I said, lots of room over there.
Off to a bit of a slow start on her front 9 today. Out in 1 over par. Struggling a bit to find the putting surface. This would go a long way.
Oh, she knew that early. Slipped out to the right-hand side. She was the only player in the field to go bogey-free in those challenging conditions.
Over to the 11th, we saw the second shot of Yealimi Noh kind of laying it up on that right side up to here. So she's got it into the correct part of the screen. There's a ridge that the players have to contend with when they're coming in from that right side on that angle. Got to get it over that ridge to give yourself a flatter look, which is what she's done. So this to get it to 10 under. Yealimi obviously having a really good season, already a winner this year.
I'd say it's hard to putt in the wind, and maybe even harder when you're standing a little bit taller, like Yealimi does there, especially with the wind at your back. It pushes you towards the ball. It's different than when it's blowing at your chest.
May have just blown the ball a little bit there, because that would have been the direction, the way the wind was blowing.
It's definitely strong enough today where you have to consider that on the greens, as quick as they are and as slopey as the greens are as well here.
Yeah, especially in that area there, it's quite exposed. This is Andrea Lee, tee shot at 11. Right over the flag, gives herself a good look.
trying to use the slope to bring it back a little bit. And the wind. We talk about the wind.
Yeah.
I'd say it got a little assistance there.
11th with Andrea Lee. Get it to 9 under par.
Be quick.
That must have looked so good to her. And she will stay level par for this third round of the Mizuho Americas Open at Liberty National.
We're back at the 12th at Liberty National Golf Club. This is Andrea Lee preparing to play her second.
A slight bit of a downhill lie. Might be helpful to this back right hole location. Every day on this hole loves the way that tee shot sets up for her eye.
Well, and the hole location today at 12 is cut on the right-hand side at the back, just 5 paces from the right. Andrea Lee has this left for birdie. I asked if she watched any of the coverage yesterday afternoon. She said she didn't. She was too busy trying to rest and recover from just being soaked through. She said she hadn't played in rain like that since she was over in Scotland. It really was quite the day here in the Northeast yesterday.
Yeah, it's just a day where you try and mentally recover as much as physically. It takes a lot out of you to grind that way. Similar to a day like today, it's a very exhausting day mentally because you're having to focus and analyze so many different factors on each and every shot. Some players, as we saw like Nelly yesterday, it helps them to focus in and to really focus on each shot, stay in that bubble. This putt breaking to her left here.
Done. And she needed something. She hasn't quite been able to get it going today. She was even par on her day, but that'll get her 1 under on the day and climbs within 3 of the lead that she shared through 36 holes. Well, this hour of Top Tracer Technology is presented by Progressive Insurance, and we have a look at Lydia Ko on the forward tee at 16 today.
And this will set up nicely for the way she shapes the ball. That's a good leave right there.
Pretty good recovery there. Still has a chance of a birdie despite driving it in the water.
Up at 16, Lydia Ko left herself just short right of this front right hole location at the short par 4 today. That was for an eagle.
If you gave her a bucket right there, she'd hole about half of them from that spot. Maybe not quite half, but she'd hole.
Yep.
Now, at the 13th, Andrea Lee with her second.
Just looking to play something out to the right here. He's got that right foot pulled way back. Just trying to put it in a place. Good number for her wedge approach here. We haven't seen too many get really close to that back hole location today.
Light. And I think that shows you what she's like there, just taking the time to make somebody's day. Now, Andrea Lee. This for birdie.
This is a big part of her game that she's been working on lately with Jim Gormley, Tom, that he told me that her tendency has been to take it a little bit too inside on the takeaway, which leaves the putter shut. I feel like that's been a big difference for her in the last couple of weeks, showing some signs of really tremendous play.
Yeah, coming off a top 10 finish last week in Utah.
Well, Andrea Lee is seeking her second win on the LPGA Tour. Her first, don't forget, came in Portland, but 3 years ago in 2022 at Columbia Edgewater Country Club, she was tied for the lead at 13 under with Lilia Vu and Akaya Fudaway going into the final round, but she lost the lead with 2 bogeys in her first 3 holes. She rebounded, though, with birdies at 5, 6, and 7. That at 14 would give her the lead at 18 under. Then she made birdie here at 16 to get to 19 under. That deserved the fist pump because it meant she only needed a par at 18 to win, which she managed with a final round 67 and a 1-stroke victory over Daniela Darkea. It was her first LPGA Tour victory with 8 final round birdies, including 1 on each of the 4 par 5s, and she had one of the biggest trophies in the game to celebrate what was an emphatic breakthrough win for the now 26-year-old from Los Angeles.
It's a very different golf course than where she played there in Portland. I mean, she leads the tour in fairways and regulation, one of the straightest players you're ever going to find. This course certainly rewards accuracy, but is a little bit more of a bomber's golf course than where she won in Portland.
This is Lydia Ko for a birdie at 17. Lovely approach there from Lydia. And a good season so far for Lydia, winning in Singapore. Caught a lot of the hole there. Been working hard on her game the last couple of weeks. Didn't play particularly well at the Chevron Championship. Struggled with her irons, she said, that week. So just...
Let's go to 16. This was Yealimi Noh just a moment ago with her second up by the green because the 16th is drivable today.
Tried to get under that a little bit, use some spin.
Oh, she holds it for eagle. Well, we expected to see the 16th hole.
First of the day. And not the easiest shot here. You can see she releases her right hand just a little bit through the shot to try and generate that extra spin.
Oh, job well done. That was the idea of moving the tee up here at the 16th today, and Yealimi the first to take advance for both the 3rd and 4th rounds this weekend. We'll head out to the 14th hole where Andrea Lee has this left to save par and stay within 2.
This really has been a tougher hole today than you would expect from that distance. It's only playing 131 yards today, but a narrow opening to that green, playing quite a bit over par, about 3.2 scoring average. Yes. Big momentum putt here.
Yeah, it was big from Andrea. She played her last 4 holes in 3 under par, so it was a good job not to give one back there at 14.
It's the making of those putts, Cara, that just really do keep that momentum going, build confidence.
Let's go to the 18th hole, and Lydia Ko has this left to save par in her closing hole.
Really stay within striking distance tomorrow.
That's a disappointing bogey at the last hole. She's done such a good job to move her way up this leaderboard today. There'll be a 2 under par 70. 3rd round. So she'll have a kick in birdie to get to within 1. We'll go to 15.
Andrea Lee drove it in trouble here. It's her 3rd shot. Tough holes. We try and get it up and down from this length. Remember that flag today on the back of the green. Small little section, they've cut the flag.
Shot.
Oh, yes, very well done. The ball there is Stephanie Kiriakis, who hit a fantastic second shot in trying to battle back. She's a couple of... As we go out to the 15th hole, and Andrea Lee to save par. This would be a really good 4.
She just made that Fantastic save on 14. She has 9 one-putts already on her card today. This one a little more challenging with the wind at her back, pushing her center of gravity closer to the ball. I always like to take a little bit wider stance when you're putting in wind this strong. Another one putt, 10, Tom.
That really helps. Andrea Lee in the mix.
On the LPGA Tour to get better stamina. And we'll go over to 18 now. Okay, Yealimi Noh will be first to play here for birdie. Morgan, she's moved herself all the way up into a tie for third.
Very fast finish, that eagle that we saw that pitch in on 16, and then another birdie on 17. Really riding high from a lot of confidence with her first win earlier this season. She kind of had a little bit of a mini reset last week, mentally more than anything. Likes to get some good grind practice sessions in and makes her feel better coming into a week like this. And it sure has shown in her performance. She's such a high ball hitter that she would have to really work to flight her irons on a day like today.
Okay. Not bad. I think she also has just really appreciated this event. Yeah, she said she grew up playing AJ round. Oh, back at 16. Andrea Lee. See what she can do at this short 4 today.
I mentioned she's the straightest driver on the LPGA Tour this season. Just not quite the firepower to get all the way to the green into the wind today.
Leaderboard. She also won this year the Junior Invitational at Sage Valley, which is an incredible tournament in the junior circuit. So expect to hear the name Aphrodite Deng in the future. Now let's get out to 16. And Andrea Lee, Morgan, has got the putter in hand.
It's not an easy putt here. Look at how far left she's aiming. Uphill to start, all the way to the putting surface, then downhill, breaking to the right. Bobbled quite a few times there, going up the slope. But all in all, a good effort.
It's just a good week for Andrea. It's the first time since last August that she started an LPGA event with back-to-back rounds of 68 or better. She was going to be today, and she sort of gestured at the direction of her caddy and said that's his job. Hasn't been able to take advantage too much of this golf course. And playing with Andrea Lee. Let's see if she can get up and down for birdie here.
I think about all those one putts, the 10 so far on her card that I mentioned. It's just one of the absolute strengths of her game. I think back to her as a Solheim Cup team member, just really clutch with this club.
Oh, well done. Another birdie gets her up into that tie for third. Yesterday's 68 was her third round of 68 or better in the last 2 weeks. That's more than she's had in her.
So that might be right in her range.
Well, back at 17. This is Andrea Lee from the left half of the fairway into a left-hand hole location.
Yeah, with this wind being downwind today, this hole playing as one of the easiest on the golf course. Just about controlling the spin as we've seen so far today.
Look at that wind. How impressive is that? She stops that pin high. Wow, indeed.
It's a bit of a guessing game in conditions like this. You hope you get it right. As you're standing over the ball, you have to 100% commit to it, but you never know if you're going to get a gust, if it's going to knock the ball down, what kind of a bounce it's going to take when it lands, especially hitting to an elevated green like this one here at 17.
Played her second from a similar position, left-hand side of the fairway.
Can we? I just feel like we keep saying add to the total of 1 putts. 11 so far on her card. Clearly feeling really confident with this club in her hand, this falling to her right.
Well, the approach deserved it. It was just spectacular. It was just the perfect distance. Look at the back nine Andrea Lee has. She's 5 under par through the 8 holes on the back.
Being downwind to that front hole location, smart play.
And you feel like she wants to get, or needs to get, maybe a couple birdies coming in. Speaking of coming in, Andrea Lee's now on the tee at 18.
That's easier said than done here on 18. Only been 1 birdie so far today. Of course, that eagle from Rio Takeda. That'll set up nicely there for Andrea.
Oh, so she has a fairway finder at the last.
Active event as well. It's just, what an experience for these youngsters. And a lot of them, I'm sure, want to end up on tour someday, like Yana Wilson, the first junior to play in this event in the professional division.
But I love what Michelle Wee West has done. She's tried to foster this mentorship program. She's really encouraged the professionals who are kind of buddied up with the juniors to play a practice round with them early in the week, to have a meal with them, be it breakfast or lunch in the clubhouse, and just really give them that access. It's fairly unprecedented in the professional game. Andrea Lee finds the green in regulation at the closing hole. Andrea Lee will be next to play. Alice Zhao was in that penultimate group today with Andrea and Stephanie Kiriakou. She'll likely go with Gino Titakun and Celine Boutier tomorrow. But let's see if Andrea Lee can grab one more here to finish.
Up this ridge, fall to her right early. It's never easy when you're putting through your shadow like this. Clearly, as you can tell, harder to see the hole. To really focus on your start line.
Oh, just not quite enough pace. As she holds it together pretty well from being in a share of the 36-hole lead overnight. She was tied with Nelly Korda and Somi Lee. And you can see she remains tied with Nelly Korda. 2 back. It was just the 2nd time in her career that she has been in the lead, or a share of the lead, through 36 holes. Previous occasion was at the BMW Ladies Championship 3 years ago in 2022. She ended up finishing 2nd that week, but she has had 3 consecutive rounds of